Hey, you guys, Torpedo on the most targeted citizen. Hope you're having a good day. It is finally, the heat has been quenched with some rain. Rain in the south. Ain't that a wonderful thing? Got to come out here tomorrow and dump on my barrels again. May have some good news on the barrel front. I told you guys yesterday, went and picked up all the Advantech. I think my building kept it 99.9% dry. I've got a little bit on the edges. So tomorrow I've got to come through here on the side where it is. I got to pick them all up again and do some waterproofing around the edges. I got to research a little bit more and see if I can waterproof the whole thing, because I want to make sure that my wood is waterproof. Mason and I started the day early today. I got to move fast. I'm sure skeeters are going to be surrounding me. We're going to go to the lake today, but we got up this morning early at 7 o'clock and went. A guy down in the lake, down at Lake Norman, which is about 50 minutes from here, had floats. He took a dock, his dock apart. He had a 24 by 32 dock, and he took it apart to build a new one. Well, he had the floats off that dock, and he was selling all the floats for $220 for all those floats. Here's one load. This is the second load of floats, and got a whole other load as well. So, got all these. The guys that took the deck apart cut into a couple of them. A couple of them got holes in them, but nothing that can't be fixed. But these have been out there for 30 years, and he said that thing was still floating just as true as it was the day they put it in. So guess what? We've got all these floats. Me and Mason counted. There's 20 of these, not including the big ones. The big ones are waterlogged. But 20 of these floats, and I've got 4 of my own that size and a larger one. So we've got 24 floats. I very well may have enough of just these floats to use instead of having to use my pontoons. So I may not even have to use these awkward, heavy pontoons. May not. It depends on the help situation, what I can get done. But if I can just use those, because those are made where you can strap them underneath the frame. So in other words, all I got to do is I got to build my 18 by 40 deck, and then put it in the water. And as I put it in the water, add a pontoon, or a float. Add a float, strap it in, push it in. Add a float, strap it, and put it in. Great. I mean, that is a miracle. I mean, I'm going broke. Money's tight. So if you guys can donate, that would greatly help me. Any help you give me is going to be forwarded to the next person, because there are many targeted individuals out there that are alone and they've got nowhere to go. This world's not going to get any better. Rent's not going to go down. It's only going to go up. It's only going to get worse. It is not going to get better. Bible prophecy, it says, when the Euphrates River dries up, then God will unleash the 4 fallen angels that he has chained up in hell. When those fallen angels are released, 1/3 of the world's population will be destroyed. No more. 1/3 of the world's population is no more. That's scary. I fear the Lord more than anything on this planet, and you better too. Is my houseboat going to stop the wrath of God? Nope. I'm just trying to buy time until that day happens. The Euphrates is almost dried up. It's almost dried up. And that is a terrifying thought to me. The destruction to this world. People right now have been protesting for 3 days. But, well, for one, because they're stupid, but because the federal government isn't mandating the murder of children any longer. Murdering a baby in the womb is that important that these people are ready to kill alive humans to pull it off. That's terrifying. That's scary. It's only going to get worse. So I've got all them pontoons. I don't know. He said they were all floating, so what I'll have to do is me and Mason's going to clean it. I don't know what it is, but every time I pull floats like that out of the water, I don't know if it's the mercury from where they've been saturated so long, but it just burns me. It burns like a real bad insulation, not insulation itches you, but whatever's on those things really just eats my skin. So I had to get home, take a bath, get all that mess washed off. But tomorrow, I'm going to see if I can get my pressure washer working. I hope I can get my pressure washer working tomorrow. Tina brought one home from work that's all just trash, but I'm going to see if the hose itself will fit my pressure washer, the new one I bought. So hopefully it will. If so, then we're going to scrub all these up, clean them up real good, go around them and check for any kind of leaks, and seal them up as best we can, because that right there is going to be a lot quicker and easier option than my pontoons. I have 100% faith in my pontoons. I have not a doubt in my mind that they're going to float and float very well. So more than likely, I'm still going to use these. I told Mason I might do is use those to build the deck around the outside of the house to give us something to walk on. There's jerk off in the Mustang. Gang stalker every day. We're gonna put an end to him. His time ain't. No. I'll be on the phone with the troopers every day. But Longview Police Department won't do anything about it. They won't stop him in his criminal ways. But we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna get him handled. But yeah, this is a blessing. Also yesterday, my welding lead came in, and I set it up last night, hooked it up, pushed the button. And I can almost guarantee, without a shadow of a doubt, that I'm going to be able to weld like a champ now, because I pushed the button and literally it was 10 seconds for that wire to come from the machine all the way out to the end. Any other time it takes a minute of moving like this. That thing is smooth as butter now. $50. So all these little expenses is really taking a dent. Just put a dent into my houseboat money. So any help is greatly appreciated, but every dime I get is going to do this. I can't weld the stuff I needed with a defective welding lead. So I've got that. So everything that I'm doing is moving forward to get this houseboat done. This week I'm going to be concentrating on waterproofing that. The Advantech, I'm going to waterproof it probably tomorrow. And then what we got to do is I got to go get the metal, the 2x2, so I can start cutting these apart and getting them welded up, extending them. Once I get that done, it's going to be a bunch of measuring there to get the right length, get the posts set in the right spots. But we're going to get that done this week. All that's going to be done. The next thing's going to be doing the 12-foot studs for the walls. I'll be putting them in my drill press and drilling probably 1.5 inch holes in those 3 feet up. That way I can run my Romex, which is the electrical, run my Romex through all the walls. I have it run through the whole house. Is going to have electrical outlets in it. Ain't going to be maybe one solar panel operating the whole thing, because I ain't got the money to power the house yet. But we'll see how it goes when it goes. And there's my son's window that I told him to roll up, and he left it down during the whole rain. Thanks for leaving my window down, bud. He locks the door, but leaves the window down. There's jerk off in the Mustang. As loud as he can be. Police department, you gonna do anything about that? Do your job, maybe? No, of course not. They ain't gonna do their jobs. They don't care about anybody else. They don't care about the safety of the citizens. They don't worry about me. They worry about their safety when it comes to me talking, but they won't want us to worry about the safety of the citizens when we got an idiot in a Mustang that drag races everywhere he goes with the exhaust cut off his car. Way to go, law enforcement. You're the bestest. So yeah, me and Mason got the building cleaned up yesterday. I'm gonna have to reassess and probably get some plastic out, and if I have to staple around that event, take that stuff is too expensive to let it get wet and ruin it. So I'm gonna pull all that out of the building tomorrow and check that out again and make sure it's gonna be okay. I think what little moisture's on it is where we had to slide it in the mud to get it in the building yesterday. As you can hear that jerk off even more. It's ridiculous. But on the rev limiter. On the rev limiter. Going through town. law enforcement is useless in America. Useless. What's the old saying? Well, if you ain't stand for cops, and next time you need help, call a crackhead. At least I know if I pay a crackhead to do something, he's gonna do it. Yeah, you're safer with a crackhead than you are law enforcement. And by the way, on that note, for the people that haven't heard the chief's threats to me to arrest me for my speech, I'm going to refer him to the 1983 U.S. Code 242, I think it is. 18 U.S.C. 242, which is a 1983 lawsuit. Deprivation of rights under color of law. That's when you chill speech or when you try to hinder someone's rights given to us in the Constitution. When you do that, that is actually a crime, punishable by fines and imprisonment. Only government can be accused of that crime, and that's a pretty hefty crime. That's most of the 1983 lawsuits go with U.S. 242 Section 18. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure that was it. But it's been, like I said, me and Mason got that done. We got it done. We got the stuff moved today. Really nice gentleman. He's excited. He just built a beautiful log cabin down in Lake Norman. And he's like, man, I really want you. And I was kind of telling him, man, I said, if I just get somebody to back me building tiny houses on the water. And he's like, man, that's a really good idea. And he's in construction. He built a beautiful log cabin down there in Lake Norman. So he's very interested in what I'm talking about, because if I can spec these out, these lake houses, I could spec them out a 12 by 20 and then just keep going up from there. People are building these every day. In Tennessee, there's a guy called just Your Boat House, I think is what it's called. But man, these people are selling these all over America. If I could build a floating boathouse, just walls, ceilings, windows, floating, just bare essentials, that for 10 grand, and you can come in and do the solar and all, or I can even do that all. Think about that, to be living on the lake for maybe 15 grand total, to have a house of your own for $15,000. That's, rent now is almost that now. Rent in a lot of places is $15,000 a year. So if you could just do that and have your own house on the water. Got to think ahead. It's not how much money you make, it's how much you spend. If you eliminate what you're spending, then everything you make goes in your pocket. Because listen, here's the deal, guys. Just like the guy was telling me and I was telling him today, I don't care if you pay that house off and if it's paid off. If you pay the tax man every year for your house, it ain't yours. If he can tell you what you can and cannot do on your own property, it ain't yours. That's the facts in living in America. It ain't yours. Property taxes going up and home values dropping through the floor. Your investment is destroyed, as most people's 401ks now. Destroyed. So they have put me down asleep. I've slept on and off all afternoon. They just keep putting me down, so I'm just going to let them. I'm going to go relax, hit the ground running tomorrow and start over. And got to clean my mess back up. But yeah, that's going to be the deal we're going to do. We're going to get that done, taken care of. Boat house is moving forward. I'm Stuart Piddle on the Most Target Assistant. Pray for me, pray for my family, pray for your purpose. Always pray in Jesus' name. I love you. Jesus loves you. PayPal link in the description. God bless.